Welcome back everyone to another episode of Sneaker Updates. This will be Sneaker Updates number 76. If you happen to be new here, feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on every hype sneaker. Essentially, in this series, we go over sneakers that received updates throughout the week. For example, some of those may potentially include some Jordans, Yeezys, and more. But with that short little intro out of the way, why don't we jump right into the first update. Kicking it off for today, we'll start with Off-White and Nike since that's what you guys seem to like the most. A few months ago, we discussed a lot of the upcoming Off-White Nike shoes, one of which was the Off-White Air Force 1 University Gold. Now, just the other day, we finally got our very first in-hand look from none other than LeBron James himself. Evidently, they do look near identical to the mock-ups that we were showing before. Regarding when these are supposed to release, they are now confirmed to be releasing in July of 2021 this year for $150. This also just so happens to be around the same time as when the MCA Sneaker Stash took place, for those of you who remember that. A day that I know I certainly won't forget, and all Endurance members certainly will not forget either. The actual date for this release is not set in stone just yet, and neither is the release method, but I'm sure we all know exactly what type of release we'd like to see for these. Of course, I'll keep you guys updated regarding these, so be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications for these and any other Off-Whites, of course. I don't really think we need to discuss the resale for these two in depth. Obviously, these are going to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin, full throttle, of course. With that out of the way though, let's move on to Jordans. First of all, we have some very exciting news. In honor of Union's 30th anniversary, they will be doing multiple different collaborations with different brands. Most notably, from this list that they did provide was Jordan Brand, of course. This means that Union has just announced another Jordan collab for this year, 2021. Initially, we saw the Jordan 1s, and recently, we saw the Union Jordan 4 Sneaker Stash. As of now, I don't have confirmation on what it'll be, but of course, I'm going to let you know when I do. Certainly a huge drop to look forward to, whatever sneaker they do decide on. Moving on, we got a detailed in-hand look at the Jordan 6 British Khaki Travis Scott. After we discussed them again just a few months ago, these will be dropping this spring, possibly as early as April, for $250. Obviously, expect these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin as well, because again, this is a Travis Scott sneaker. Then we got an official release date for the Jordan 1 Bordeaux, mock-up courtesy of Z Sneakerheads. These will drop on November 20th for $170. Expect these to be profitable with a good margin when they do end up dropping. And moving on from those, the Jordan 1 Electric Orange is now set to drop on July 17th for $170. Mock-up courtesy of Z Sneakerheads as well. Expect these to be profitable with a decent margin, and we got some more mock-ups that we'll discuss too. So now, we already discussed the Lightning Jordan 4s, right? I'm extremely excited for those, and they've been a grail of mine for many years. However, many of us also did want to see the Thunder Jordan 4s, which is sort of the inverse of the Lightnings. While we didn't exactly get that, unfortunately, we did, on the other hand, get the Red Thunder Jordan 4. These will be dropping on October 2nd for $190. I'd expect lunch money potential for these, nothing too notable though, mostly on the larger size, but come on guys, I think what we really want here is the real Thunder 4s back. Then we also got another mock-up from Z Sneakerheads for the Jordan 12 Taxi. These are finally set to drop on October 9th for $190, even though they were initially rumored for early 2020. Obviously, that did not end up happening, but it's good to see that we are finally going to be seeing these. Everything on these will be just like the last pair, aside from the black suede overlay, along with more gold on the upper. Then we also got a mock-up of the Pine Green Jordan 3, which will be dropping on November 13th for $190. I'm expecting these to mainly just be a personal pair though, at best perhaps lunch money. Now for one of the much more exciting upcoming pairs, we also got a mock-up of the Jordan 1 Bred Patent Leather. These will be dropping in October for $170. They're the exact same colorway as the Bred or Band, as you may know it, Jordan 1s that you guys are used to, but fully patent leather, just like we saw on the women's UNC Jordan 1 a while back. I love this concept and definitely need a personal pair. Let me know what you guys think about these, but more importantly, you can certainly expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Moving on to Yeezys, for the first time in a while, we actually have a good amount of pretty exciting updates. First of all, we all know the Yeezy 700 V2 Cream is dropping on March 13th, but the update is that the retail is now confirmed to be $240 rather than $300, just like the Yeezy 700 Sun. With this $60 price cut, we have significantly more room to profit, so definitely expect these to be profitable with a good margin at the very least, especially in sizes under 8. Moving on, the Yeezy Quantum Seal Teal is set to drop on March 19th for $250. Unlike the last pair we just discussed, based on how all recent Quantums have been performing, or just all Quantums customs in general, really. I'd say personal only for these, unfortunately, and you're probably going to be able to get these for under retail too. In some more exciting news than those, though, the Yeezy 450 Dark Slate is set to drop in spring for $200, potentially in late April. Similar to the last pair, I expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Additionally, the Yeezy 700 MNVN is returning in the Bright Cyan colorway for $220 this summer. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well, similar to all prior 700 MNVNs. Moving on, we'll be seeing some more Yeezy Foamrunners dropping on March 26th, so that's right around the corner, obviously, for $80 each. This includes the MXT Moon Gray colorway and the Sand colorway. I don't expect them to do as well as the first pair, however, I do still expect them to be very profitable with an incredible margin, especially because of that very low retail, so regardless, full throttle for sure on these. Then later this spring, for $55, we will be seeing two more Yeezy slides drop in the Inflame Orange colorway and the Pure colorway. I would expect both of these to be profitable with a good margin due to the very low retail and how prior slides have been performing. Moving on, official images have loaded for the Yeezy 700 V3 Kyanite, which had its release date delayed to March 27th, as you guys know. These released for $200 and should be profitable with a good margin in all sizes. The official images have also loaded for the Yeezy 350 V2 Ash Pearl, which is set to drop on March 20th for $200. I'd expect these to perform very similar to the prior Ash 350s that we were discussing and that we already saw release, so this should allow you to make a little bit of lunch money off sizes under 8, nothing too notable though. And lastly, for Yeezys, we got our very first in-hand look at some new 350s, all of which consist of the Yeezy 350 V2 Mono Ice, Mono Clay, Mono Mist, and Mono Light. All of these drop on June 21st for $220, aside from the Mono Light pair, which will be dropping on August 21st. I'd expect all of these to be profitable for at least lunch money, mainly in sizes under 8, but I'll keep you guys updated as we do approach the drop, of course. With Yeezys out of the way, let's move on to some miscellaneous sneakers though. Kicking it off, the Dunk Low Green Strike will drop on March 15th for $100. Expect these to be very profitable with a very good margin as well. Moving on, we got an in-hand look at the Dunk Low What the P-Rod, which will drop later this year, potentially this summer, for $110. Expect these to be very profitable with a great margin as well. Then we also got a mock-up of the upcoming acronym Blazer, courtesy of Pirates, which will be dropping this fall for $120. I'll have to keep you guys updated regarding resale as we do get closer to the drop though, as I'm not sure right now. And finally for today, we got an in-hand look at the Dunk High Hawaii, which will drop this summer for $120. I would expect at least small profit on these with a decent margin, nothing too notable though. But anyway, that will conclude it for today. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, or you perhaps learned a thing or two, and of course subscribe and enable post notifications just to stay 100% updated on all hyped releases, including these that I discussed today. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast, residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers accounts. Last but not least, make sure to follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and personals for you. This way, you're always in the loop 24/7 regarding any urgent info, site lists, etc. With that, I'll see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day.